A spark ignites and starts to burn. Through endless realms, no way to return. From crimson skies to wastelands torn. Myth and legend where stars are born. A million paths collide in the haze. Echoes of heroes lost in the maze. Planes walking the multiverse. Through chaos and time we immerse. Legends rise and fade like sparks. Across the void we leave our marks.
They added like 3 times the amount of weaponry available in this vault. So they set it up so the tensions would be very high. And then at the same time, there was a parallel cloning project that was going on, focused on, obviously, can you guess the name of the guy it was focused on?
Gary!
Yeah, you got it, buddy. You got it. So each of the Garys was grown in a lab, and there was some kind of defect in them that made Garys immediately hostile to anybody who wasn't a clone. And
Right.
they just kept making them. So
Mhm.
they made like 50 some odd Garys to the point where their observation rooms were overcrowded with them. So what happened was, as they go along, they dealt with escalating violence. So somewhere up in the mid 50s, one of the Garys actually injured one of the doctors. So they
Mhm.
started talking about destroying the extra clones to make room for further tests, and they basically just obviously treated the Garys as completely disposable. So you've got like, yeah, I know, it's honestly, it's insane. Like, it's I would say that it's kind of impossible to think about the fact that there would be scientists willing to do this, but there are people who are missing fundamental parts of their humanity.
Whispers crawl through the cracks like spiders in the dark. Secrets slither, shadows dance, they leave a bitter mark. Lies wrapped tight like silk spun thin, choking the morning air. The truth you chase, it runs away. Hiding where you dare. In the heat of the night, where the fire burns cold, the answers you seek are stories untold, shaped by the light.
Listen. After everybody calms the fuck down.
Is anybody alive coming out of the movie theater? Or just dead people?
Just blood and body parts.
All right, well, I'm going to try to go in again. And if I go back in time, I'm going to shoot the lock a few more times and see if it works.
All right. Yeah, throw me a D20.
I've got a 3.
So you go in, and this time the force is more pronounced. It's more pronounced. It flings you back around a minute later. So you can feel the whiplash. It hits your neck, it hits your back. It's like you're almost trying to go through plexiglass. And the people going in, you're in the situation, you're just coming around the front, and people are going in, the door is closing. A minute later, the whole thing happens all over again.
Can I try to run in and get in there before the door closes and just force my way through? Or am I too late?
Yeah, it's too late. So it flings you back the moment that you're coming back around.
All right,
Boom, boom, let the hollow idols fall.
other members deserve much better than we know about Tilly Norwood, and we're heavily monitoring the situation. Like, you guys are unfucking believable. You know that. You're supposed to fight on behalf of us. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be representing everybody here. I realize you can't have a crystal ball and you can't think 20 steps ahead. But you're supposed to have that clairvoyancy. You're supposed to think somewhat ahead. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. You're supposed to foresee of problems in the future and try to stop them. That's why you have a collective bargaining agreement. That's why you went back and forth with the studios. That's why it was one of the longest acting strikes in history.
This is the LP shop, doors are open wide, so come on inside. Find a little piece of history and come alive, turn it up, let your story spin. Every scratch, every song pulls you back in. At the LP shop, doors are open wide.
As a kid, learning to play guitar, I used to put the album on, not this album. There's a Fraley's Comet. It's called Live Plus One, and he opens with this song. And I used to learn. I would try and figure it out and play along to the album. I loved this song. And my buddy, who was a drummer, who I still keep in contact with, he learned all the drum parts on this song as well, with that drum solo in the middle.
So I'm guessing you're like a big fan of the song.
Yeah.
Tell just let's go into it. What did you like about the song?
Well, I mean, of course, first off, it's guitar driven.
Yeah.
Vocally, Ace doesn't push any barriers.
No.
But he's got a certain execution and a way he enunciates and the way he sings that I've always been attracted to. He's not the greatest singer in the world.
No.
I don't think he ever claimed to be. But there's just something cool.
The cameraman and his crew, paint on my face just to move. We are Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life, mark it on my skin, that sign from the campfire glow at night to the screen right in your eyes. Original stories, wild and true, you can feel them cut right through, bring that spark straight to you. Every drop, every view, must see TV. Join the tribe, cross the line. Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. Yu-Gi-Oh Club for life. Raise your hand. That's the sign. That's the sign. Shouting names side by side. When the Cayman calls, we rise. Hear that thunder in our cry. From the first beat, we commit. try, cross the line. You're your club for life. Hey. Say the word, you're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You're your club for life. Hey. Once you're in, I'll get them for life. I'll go, call it out. Hey. I'll go, never doubt. I'll go, side by side. Hey. You get club for life. For life. For life. Hey. Must see TV. Join the tribe. Cross the line. You're your club for life. Hey. Say the word. You're inside. Must see TV. From the cave to the timeline. You're your club for life. Hey. Once you're in, you're in for life.
Through the screen so bright, a feast of stories in the night. One headline spicy, one's refined. Every bite feeds the curious mind. Fame's a dish, it's served so hot we lap it up. Oh, we can't stop. A morsel here, a tidbit there. The bite connects us everywhere. Take a bite, feel the beat tonight. Breaking news under neon lights. A taste of fame in every line. The bite's the buzz, it's prime time.
Hello, ladies and like a bird, I have arrived. I poofed into existence. I poofed. That's right. Poofed. Caveman just poofed. Welcome to the premiere of season 2 of The Bite. We have some spicy things to talk about. We have box office breakdowns. We have a story that I feel like I feel like I'm in a loop, you know? But before we get to all that stuff, we have to introduce the one, the only, the boyishly, get the kid-like in nature, the young gun of must-see TV, Crimson. How's it going, my friend?
Okay, you don't need to like keep rubbing it in.
What?
The young, the boyish,
The kid, the young gun. The young gun. What? You're young gun. You know, like the movie Young Guns? You're one of those guns.
I'm not that young.
You're 19 years old. What are you talking about? You're not that young.
I pay taxes, okay?
You basically are. You graduated from preschool. Basically. Listen, if I'm 5,000 years old and you're 19, you're a kid.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, but how are you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. We have some growls. We have box office. We have a story I'm not looking forward to talk about and discussing because I feel like this is a running theme seg with you. But let's do good. Let's do the good things. Let's do the growl. So we have more than one growl today, which I'm very excited to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do it.
Okay, our first growl is coming from Radio Tech Studio.
Radio Tech Studio. Very, very techy. Well, it's a Radio Tech Studio. I like that. Thank you for interacting with our stuff, my friend. From me to you, you got a great big bad caveman.
And our second one is from Jonathan Lotz.
Jonathan Lotz, a returning guest. I feel like you're a celebrity, Jonathan. So from us to you, you got a great big bad caveman.
And our last one of today is Naeem Shifa.
Naeem Shifa. I see. I'm getting better at. I think I'm getting better at your names. You guys just tell me if I'm right. Well, to be honest, I have people just double checking if I'm not insulting anyone. So Naeem Shifa, thank you for not being. Oh, I was gonna make a little joke. I couldn't make a joke. Thank you for watching, tuning in. We appreciate you, and from me to you, you got a great big bad caveman. All right, so let's go to our first bite of the day, and that is the box office breakdown. And here to give us all what came in from 1 to 5 is Crimson.
So our first story of the day is, or our first one is, The Backrooms has made $81 million domestically, and overseas they brought in an additional $35 million.
That's I mean, like 100. What? That's 118. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? And I think this movie was done by A24.
Yes.
You know, there's a theme here, and I don't think the theme should be these kids are coming in and they're throwing wrenches into the system. I don't think that's what it is, because I believe this is a YouTuber that's I forget his name.
I know I forget his proper name, but I know the name of his YouTube channel is Kane Pixels.
That's right, Kane Pixels. But people have to know what Kane Pixels and Markiplier has done before they did anything. I think they went to the learning tree. You know, they not only talked about film, but they studied it as well. And you can see with Markiplier's movie, that movie, by the way, was incredible. It was atmospheric. It was what we call a chamber piece in the film, and all a chamber piece means is it happens in one location. It was Crimson. I think you saw the movie as well, I believe, and it was really good.
Yeah,
I think it was really, really good for a first time out. I mean, the movie made like $50 million overall of a budget of. I'm not sure, like $3 million, I believe. Yeah, $3 million. It was that movie was just phenomenal, and by all accounts, this movie is phenomenal as well. Now, if you had a bingo card and you have Chris Stuckman on that bingo card, and you're like, okay, who is the one that will break out of the three individuals, right? Chris Stuckman would be on that bingo card. You know, he's a YouTuber. He talks about film, right? He has scripts out there. He writes, and you would have that in the bingo card. Okay, Chris Stuckman's going to come out with a movie that's going to do reasonably well. But he didn't do well. Shelby Oaks is not a very good movie. It's a found footage. It's passé. We covered it on the network before. I reviewed it. It wasn't very good at all. And I think there's something to be said of technically knowing how a movie works, right? I believe film schools still do this, right? I mean, where they show you different films and they teach you all the lingo, but it's quite different practice, right? When you actually get into knowing actually how a film is produced and actually how a film works, right? And these three movies are a great comparison into one, talking about film and reasonably know how a film is produced and work, right? But, you know, for him, getting into it's like has no practical experience, doesn't know what he's doing, right? And that's why Shelby Oaks failed, right? And on the flip side, you have two people sitting under a learning tree, having, I would guess, some friends in the film industry, talking to them, actual learning experience to how a film works and doing it in practice, right? And that's what we see Crimson with these three movies, right? Someone technically knows how a movie works, but when it comes down to practice, really doesn't know how a film works at all. And on the flip side, you're having these two individuals coming out and just going and just phenomenally hitting it out of the park, because knowing how a film works on the flip side and actually making a film, it's two different things. And we see that in Hollywood all the time. Where an exec thinks they know how a film works, and they're like, okay, I have no idea how any of this works. And we see that we see this in Hollywood all the time. So I think it's a phenomenal story, right? And I think it's great to see something like this. A24 is a phenomenal indie studio. I still think Blumhouse is a little bit better, but that's me. I think this is but that's beside the point. I think this is just a phenomenal story. And I hope this person makes another film. Mm-hmm. I hope A24 gives them another shot at the can. So what's number two? What came in at number two?
Obsession, bringing in $26 million.
That's now here. I think the box office, right, is telling a story, right? Obsession is another indie movie, right? And by all accounts, it's doing phenomenal of itself, right? In and of itself. I haven't seen the film. By all accounts, it's amazing. And I'm excited to watch the film when it comes out. We'll probably review it on the network. What's number three?
It is The Mandalorian and Grogu, making $25 million. It's pushing the film's worldwide total this week up to $245 million.
So I wasn't far. I was 40. What? I was 35 million off of where I thought the movie would land. Mm-hmm. Now, I believe that's more of the 75% drop. Film coming in at 98 and then dropping to 25, 26. And on its surface, it looks bad. But I think what oftentimes, Crimson, we don't think of is the merchandise.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know how much money this film made on toys. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Grogu, that he's adorable. And when an exec saw that Grogu for the first time, probably dollar signs were ringing in his head, right? We don't know how much film this made with just the toys alone. It could have been 20, it could have been 40, it could have been 50, it could have been 60, right? And we don't take that into account as often as we should, right? We just take a look at the Marvel movies and the Disney movies and we say, oh, this film failed, this film didn't make any money, this film did this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? But we don't take in account of the toys, right? The Lego, the plushies, the posters, the games, all this kind of stuff that comes with the Star Wars IP, right? So, 26 million, 25 million on face value is a rough sign. It's a rough number. But we don't know how much money this movie made elsewhere. And I think that is something that doesn't get brought up enough. You know what I mean, Crimson?
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about that, and we should, because Disney, unlike any other studio, has other revenue pipelines, right?
Yeah.
They have toys, they have the posters, they have the collectibles, they have this, they have this, they have this. So you could possibly put in another 25 million beside that, right? And I think that is not generous. I think there's kids out there that want Grogu for Halloween. They want the toys, they want the plushies, they want all this, they want their parents to go out to the stores. Lego, as we all know, is a manufacturer machine when it comes to Star Wars. They always bring out new sets. They always make cool new designs. The figurines we don't take into account, the games, the books, the licensing rights that this film will absolutely command. Maybe on Disney Plus, maybe Netflix works out a deal to bring it to Netflix. And they usually do. So that has to be a factor. So when we talk about these numbers, it's bad, yes, but we have to take into account that this film, like every other movie in the underneath the Disney umbrella, has more than one revenue pipeline. And we should be absolutely talking about that when we talk about movies like this. All right, what's number 4?
It is Michael, bringing in $11.7 million.
That movie, it's gonna break $1 billion. That movie is absolutely gonna break $1 billion. Now, that just goes to show you that he still has, right, a fan base. I think Michael Jackson interest is always going to be there. I know that some people didn't like the movie because it didn't touch on that kind of stuff. But I think if that movie were to come out, you'd be alienating the whole part of Michael Jackson's fan base, because you have to remember half the people don't agree with what he did. Half of people don't not agree to the point where like, oh no, we don't. No, they discount that, right? And they there's a big question mark. That's what I mean. There's a big question mark. And a lot of people, that's a divisive type of topic. And a lot of people just have a lot of questions about that and not liking and want to celebrate Michael Jackson, right? Celebrate the life and the music. And that's exactly what they got. So I think if that stuff was in the film, I think you would alienate a lot of people, right? You would absolutely. I know a lot of Michael Jackson fans, if you bring that up, you bring up the dark past, they get up and leave. Or they have arguments. Or they have proof. And I'm not here to debate whether both sides of the coin is right. I'm just saying, if you bring this film out with that kind of stuff, I think you would alienate a whole bunch of people, because a lot of people just don't believe it. And they don't want to. And if you ask me do I think there's like smoke to that fire? Absolutely. I think there's smoke to that fire, but that's just me. You'll probably have a half a dozen people down below saying those were all lies. They didn't catch him on anything. It was all the government. Here's all the proof. And you'll get other people saying the exact opposite. So I think that's not what this film should be. This film was what it was supposed to be, celebrating the life, the music, and all that kind of stuff, and leaving. I'm guessing the second film is going to tackle all that kind of stuff. And I'm guessing that second film is not going to do as well. All right, who rounds up the list?
Last one is The Breadwinner, making $7.6 million.
I have not heard of this film.
I can't say I have either.
I am shocked. I don't know anything. Guys, I'm like, there's a film called The Breadwinner? Is it about bread? What kind of bread?
Rye.
I like rye on smoked meat. Toasted rye?
Perchance.
Well, you think of like Montreal rye bread, obviously, right? But that's it. I don't know anything else. Could be about bread, but I'm assuming that's good or bad. But yeah, there's your top 5. All right. So the second bite, and the last bite of today's show is Amazon Prime. I'll let Crimson explain more.
So Amazon and MGM Studios are partnering on this new project called Nira. Essentially, it's being used to create 3 original AI produced.
Yeah, they have already greenlit.
Yeah, greenlit AI, like 3 AI produced television series for Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I need a drink. We were just here. We were just fucking here. This is horrible. This, for people in the field, that job it is to create stuff like this. Crimson, I think it's very, very bad. I think is really, really bad on so many levels. Now, I do know one person had to leave the project because of course they would. He got the person in question. I know who the person is. I'm not allowed to say who it was, but got shamed basically for doing it from everybody under the sun. So he had to leave the project. I just, Crimson, on the queue up, right?
Yeah.
The package we have a Caveman Roars back clip, right? And I feel like I was just here, right? You know what I mean? I was just here. I just don't know what to say. I out of words. My brain just rebooted. I just was talking about all this stuff. In 2023, SAG had one of the longest acting strikes in history. The Actors Guild was a part of it. Visual effects artists were a part of it. Writers were a part of it. And basically, was on the table. They were trying to prevent AI generated, having the ability, they didn't want AI likenesses. They didn't want the studios to use AI for visual effects shots. They didn't want the studios anywhere near that, or to be easy for AI for the studios to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they signed this deal. They had all these clauses in the deal to prevent the fucking studios from doing this. From doing this exact thing. I come on, SAG. Where the fuck are you? Where the fuck are you? And this is the exact thing I said, Crimson, when this story came out last year about Netflix using AI to finish visual effect shots on a movie.
Mm.
If you do not do something, the gates will open. And I didn't say this at the time. Chickens will come home to roost. I hope you have a big hen house, SAG. I really, really do. I really do. And then, after that story came out, we heard a story of an artificial generated actress called Tilly Norwood. Oh, what can we do? She's overseas. She was made in Europe. We can't do anything. Bullshit! You can't do anything. How about injunctions? How about suing someone? And when the Netflix story came out, I learned about it the same day as SAG learned about it. Guess what was wrong with that sentence, Crimson? Me learning about that story the same day as SAG. Those two sentences should not go together ever. Ever. You should not learn about a story the same day as the fucking union. And then there's the Val Kilmer situation. Come on, SAG. Come on. The studio going around SAG, going to the estate of Val Kilmer, asking permission to use his likeness in a movie. The state says okay. And you're just like, we know about the situation. We're monitoring it closely. Why did you go on strike? Tell me why. Tell me. Why did you go on fucking strike? For this reason. For this exact goddamn fucking reason. I got SAG members off the record, I can't use their names, getting in contact with me, explaining to me how they went to their reps. And it was like talking to a fucking brick wall. SAG, we need more from you than we know about the situation. And we're monitoring it closely. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you trying to make my mic give up on me again? Because that's what it sounds like. This is just unbelievable. Crimson, it really is. It really is. Like, this story should have not been able to come out.
Mm-hmm.
No, really.
No, I agree.
SAG should have learned about this situation. It's like, if you do this, we're going to sue the hell out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, we're not. Technically, it's bullshit here. Technically, I am 38 years old. technically, the sky is not blue. They have lawyers. They have all these people that are necessary to have for this. I would love, Crimson, I would love to take a look at this contract and break it down on the bite. I would just love it. Because I'm pretty sure all these violations would be in it. Welcome to the party, Crimson. It's quite nice here. It's unexcusable. Seg, this is unexcusable. For this to come out. For Amazon and MGM to be doing this. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. They already greenlit 3 artificial AI programs. Are you fucking out of your mind? Are you fucking out of your mind? But guess what? I don't blame Crimson. I don't blame them. I blame SAG. They should be stepping in and saying no. Why have a collective bargaining agreement if you're not going to act? That's my question.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck's going on here? Chickens are coming home to roost, and I guarantee you, Crimson, this is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. The bottle is open now. The genie is out of the bottle. Seg, you're not going to be able to stop this. I'm telling you right now. You had the opportunity to stop this when Netflix did what they did. What happens when you see one ant? You squash it. You make sure no other ants come in. But allow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of a sudden you have an entire colony. And you're not going to be able to eradicate these ants. You're not going to be able to eradicate those. You're not going to be able to stop this. I'm telling you right now, your members are pissed off and frustrated. I am pissed off and frustrated as well. You're supposed to be looking out for not only your union members' interests, but the entertainment community as a whole. You have that responsibility to make sure we have opportunities to get work, to make sure Crimson has opportunities to get work.
Mm-hmm.
That's your fucking responsibility. And you're failing in a colossal way. And you need to do way better. Way better. Other than we are monitoring the situation. Because this will not stop. As I said in the Netflix story, this will not stop. This won't stop with Amazon and MGM. This will go to Disney. Disney already invested $500 million with ChatGPT. They already did that. This won't stop. This will go from Disney. This will go to Universal. And this will go to Warner Brothers and every other studio that can and will do this, implement something like this. Mm-hmm. You need to stop this. You need to do something. That's all we're asking of you. Do something. Anything. Doing nothing is doing something. And that something is being passive. Saying it's okay for people to do this. You need to do something, not nothing, because nothing is telling everybody you don't give two shits about what is happening. Saying something is one thing, but doing something is action. Do something or this will not stop. So I would like you guys' feedback down below in the comment section. I age 50 years when I do these things. I really do, Crimson. But we'll see you tonight for another episode of Final Countdown Top 10 Hated YouTubers. Let us know your thoughts down below. Like, share, do all that stuff. We're on Twitter. We got a couple of followers, which is good. We would love for you to head over there and join us there. This should be up on our Vault channel in the next couple hours. And we'll see you tonight. And until then, take care. Be safe. Be well. And Out Club for life. Peace.